So effectively, I'm asked to speak about the lending environment across aerospace, defense, and government. So I'll just handle it through points on this slide. So the industry segments, effectively, commercial aerospace, there's a lot of uncertainty, as everyone on the panel and I think a lot of the attendees could understand. The lending in commercial aerospace slowed quite dramatically across aftermarket, across OEM, as well, and then of course airlines. This is all stemming from the downturn in travel, creating a bunch of uncertainty, and it's a little bit difficult for the lending community to go in without a bottom being called. So I think people on the front lines in commercial aerospace and are looking for more stability in cash flows in order to get back into the market. There are opportunities in commercial aerospace. We see it. We do have a nice view on the air cargo market, for example. So we're spending a lot of our resources on air cargo. We're spending a lot of time with existing clients. We have a lot of commercial aerospace clients that are involved in, as I mentioned earlier, aftermarket and the supply chain. So we're really that sector, but until a bottom is really called, we're not deploying a lot of capital there. Where we are doing a lot more is the defense and government services side, where there really is predictability in cash flows and with programs. So they're really coveted and sought after financings in the government space. Next topic is financing sources, and so I hit on that a little bit earlier. Some banks are pausing new money transactions. Others, and I think all of the banks are working with clients on relief packages and restructurings, just given, especially in the commercial aerospace sector, because those transactions have really hit. Some of those companies have really hit a rough patch. But I will say that most banks are definitely working with clients to address needs, and we view this as a temporary type situation. Although I think you'll hear from Courtney and others about the recovery scenarios. We're definitely dedicated to the space of CIT, so we're quite active right now with new money. But I think you'll also see, unless you're really a specialized lender in the space, I think general lenders are moving away. Or stepping away from the sector until, again, as I mentioned, until the bottom is called. Going to the next couple of points, BDCs and CLOs. Effectively, pricing for securities and CLOs are under pressure as the quality of the underlying portfolios are downgraded and deteriorating. There's issues with the bonds getting, the cash flows, the underlying companies are not performing as well, so there's cash flow impact on the CLO market. As well as BDCs, the important part about how BDCs act is that they must mark to market on a quarterly basis. And given the fact that there's a lot of downgrades that are happening and asset values are declining, the BDCs are not as active. They are looking for quality opportunities and higher yield premiums to enhance returns to kind of counteract some of the pay losses. And then funds are acting like a nice backstop, I would say, in the market. They're definitely arbitrage opportunities. Also focusing across capital, from equity to debt. But I would also say that my observation has been a lot of these funds have been focused on debt transactions as some of the equity type transactions are a bit more risky in this environment. And then the bonds. Bonds are definitely opening up, both for the high yield and investment grade. So I would say, right end of March to April, a little bit of choppiness, but things are opening up a bit. As you can see, that's certain types of companies and airlines are able to get paper in the market. And then some guidance on where we see leverage on pricing and structures like that. So generally speaking, the current pricing environment is 50 to 100 basis points higher than pre-COVID. it was a lot higher, right, I would say a month ago, but it's come down quite a bit. In terms of leverages, I'm speaking just for the banks at this point in time. 3x4 is really the topping out in the pro rata market in terms of leverage, but can be, you know, half to another point higher for a bank arranged term loan B type situation. And then finally, in terms of structures, we do a lot of transactions morphing into ABL, whereas a cash flow transaction might have been possible. So a lot of ABLs are being launched in the market. In terms of spreads, just to give you a data point, where I see the B-rated loans at LIBOR 550 to 650. The other interesting point is that given the interest rate environment, banks have been looking to implement LIBOR floors anywhere from 50 to 100 in terms of an ABL, and 75 to 125 in the case of cash flow transactions. And then finally, underwrites. So I think everyone understands what an underwrite is. I think what's been happening lately is that there's less requirement in terms of transactions to underwrite. I think borrowers understand that underwrites are difficult in this point of time, and looking primarily for arrangements. However, the price point of an arrangement is now what the price point used to be for underwrites. And I think the last comment I'll make is that, again, CIT as a specialized lender in the space, we're definitely active, and we're definitely looking for opportunities. Overall, you know, I think everyone's being selective, but given the fact that we've been doing transactions in this space since 2006, we have a fair understanding of the cycles, and I'm available for any kind of questions after the panel. Thank you.